Hey, buddy, your fucking room smells like shit. I can smell it from out here. You got a dead body in there or what?
Fuck you, asshole.
Fuck me. Fuck you too, asshole. Hopefully you get squashed in a hydraulic press, you fucking prick. Hello everyone, welcome to the Ginger Snaps here. My name is Steven. In the 80s, a lot of slasher horror movies were coming out at the time. Everything from Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Child's Play, hell, even fucking Halloween has a few in the 80s. Now, of course, a lot of other horror movies came out in the 80s, and they kind of came and went. We even saw some brilliant remakes like The Blob or John Carpenter's The Thing. And then came along another horror movie, which, funny enough as it is, a lot of people forget was a horror movie to start. Made 5 sequels, stars probably one of the most recognizable names and one of the most unique names. Has a good story to it, and of course, it's, probably one of my favorite franchises. That movie just happens to be The Terminator, directed by James Cameron, which stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Michael Biehn, and Linda Hamilton. Now, I can't stress this enough when it comes to the Terminator franchise. When I grew up as a kid, I was attached to this franchise. Everything about it just intrigued me. I can watch the Terminator franchise on repeat, left, right, and center, boatloads of times, and, never get tired of them. Sometimes, there'll be hit and misses, but for sure, everyone always likes the first one for sure. Now, of course, the movie was a hit, and like I said, a lot of people forget that this was a horror movie. It's a sci-fi horror movie, sci-fi action horror movie, but after this one, the rest of them turned into just action sci-fi. So they never went back to horror. And it's always amazing, it always intrigued me actually, that some people tend to forget that this used to be a horror movie. It was kind of more of a B horror movie. So what were my personal thoughts growing up watching this movie, and also what impact does it have on me today? Well, that's why I'm here to talk about it. So sit back, relax, have some popcorn, and let's talk about The Terminator. The movie begins in the future, 2029, which is, 8 years away from now, in a very decrepit future. I mean, it's in ruins. A lot of people are not around. There's, machine-looking airplanes and whatnot kind of driving around, and you see the subtext of, a nuclear blast wiped out the entire population, well, a quarter of, or a good chunk of the population. And then, of course, the final battle will not be taking place in the present, but it will actually take place in the past. And they mean that quite literally, as the objective of the AI intelligence known as Skynet sends a cybernetic organism to the past in 1984 to kill the mother of the leader of the resistance. Now, of course, this machine that was sent back in time was none other than the Terminator himself, the T-101. This is actually the one role that Arnold Schwarzenegger is mainly known for, and I can't get enough of. He goes back in time, obviously, as we all know, naked, and he kills 3 people right off the bat, one of them being Bill Paxton, God rest his soul, and acquires some clothes. And of course, then we also see another electric sphere and another body drops in an alleyway, and we see Kyle Reese, a resistance fighter from the future. Yes, I know his number 2, DA38416. Yeah, I fucking know. I love this franchise. He has it a little bit rough, because, the Terminator kind of was graceful and, was kneeling down and rose back up. He kind of fell, on his ribs. Damn, that's gotta fucking hurt. He's running away from the cops, obviously, because, it's some random guy, just taking some bum's pants. And then next thing you know, he, obtains the officer's weapon and even asks some weird questions. What day is it? The date? What year? And it's like, when a cop, in that standpoint, what do you say? Like, you don't fucking know what year it is? Well, cut short, Kyle Reese runs into what I am assuming is a clothing store, gets some shoes, gets a jacket, and he gets the fuck out of there. He even obtains a shotgun from one of the squad cars. And next thing you know, you see him running to a phone booth to pull out a piece of paper or pretty much a phone book describing a certain person's address. And we then cut to and get introduced to Linda Hamilton's Sarah Connor, where she's one of these girls that back in the 80s is a stereotypical final girl. But this is not like the slasher genre where you have multiple girls getting picked off one by one. This is dead set, like she's literally like, yeah, she's one of the main characters. She's gonna go on, so her final girl kind of status is questionable, but she holds a very important key element with this whole entire franchise, which I will be addressing later on. In the midst of all this, the Terminator himself is running around or walking around pretty much trying to find Sarah Connor himself. Before that, he goes to a gun shop. He, obtains some weapons. I can quote the whole fucking scene. I can quote it, okay? Like, I mean, I know what weapons he asks for in the order. 12 gauge autoloader, yeah. The 45 long sight with laser setting, Phased plasma rifle with a 40-watt range, yeah. The Uzi 9mm, yeah, there's that one. And then, of course, he selects all of them and, doesn't pay for them. Kills the guy. Yeah. Terminators don't fuck around, I guess you don't. They don't fuck around. I guess it's in their name, Terminator. The Terminator then goes to a house which Sarah Connor lives. But not the Sarah Connor that we all know, the one that we were just introduced to. A different Sarah Connor. Yeah, in the phone book, actually, there's 3 Sarah Connors living in the city of LA. Just 3. I know, like, the equivalency of that today, kids, is if the Terminator went on Facebook or went on Twitter, well, mainly Facebook, and searched your name, how many results do you think he's going to see? Well, now he's got to narrow it down to the city, and what are the chances that there's 3? So now he's got to go and be efficient, like, okay, well, I guess I'll just go to these houses one by one and kill these motherfuckers. We don't know why he's killing Sarah Connor. Like, why is he going after this girl? We don't know. All we know is that he's looking for a girl named Sarah Connor, and sure as shit, he's killing them. Why? We're going to find out eventually. Kyle Reese then obtains a car where he wants to go for a nice little nap, and then you see these nightmares, these flashbacks to his future, which is actually his past, I guess you could say. And, it's just hell. He was obviously a soldier in this future that he just went back in time from, and it was a dark time. And each time he has a nightmare, he ends up dying, which kind of foreshadows something if you haven't seen this movie. And by the way, if you made it this far, sorry for the spoilers, but I mean, like, go see The Terminator. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's anywhere else. You can watch it anywhere. If you own it, just pop it into your VHS or your DVD or Blu-ray player. Just watch it. But yeah, it's pretty much foreshadowing what his fate pretty much is going to be by what he can only assume is in the near future. But each one is a different death. In this one, he dies of the car burning up. Another one, he ends up dying from a T-600. But it's a Terminator, whatever. But either way, each time he has these nightmares, he kind of just dies each time. Anyways, we then see that Sarah Connor was about to go on a date. That cancels. So she goes to a bar to get some snacks and finds on the news, after learning that a Sarah Connor has already died, another one has died. So now this raises her concern. Like, what are the chances 2 Sarah Connors have died in the same day? So, of course, now she's scared. She leaves, and then obviously she notices someone is following her. And she goes into the Technor nightclub where she then has to proceed to call the police and, ask for help. Like, there's someone following me. And then, we get the famous scene where the Terminator has shown up to her house to kill her roommates and her roommate's boyfriend, realizes, no, that wasn't Sarah Connor, finds out where she is, and arrives, and sure enough, like, she, drops something from the table, ducks down, and just walks right by her, not seeing her. And when she finally gets up, she looks at the bar and sees there's Kyle. There's the guy that was just following her. She's paranoid. And then, yeah, we get the amazing scene where the Terminator pulls out his fucking 45, points a laser at her, and sure shit, Kyle Reese comes in for the save, blows the motherfucker with shotgun rounds, and gets up. Well, that's kind of weird. He kind of looks human, but he gets up. He keeps getting blasted, still gets up. They get into a car. They get the fuck out of there. He punches through the windshield. He gets rolled off the fucking car. He was even like a little bit on fire too, but he keeps getting up. So now Sarah is a little concerned. Like, who is this guy? Well, who are you? And why is this guy trying to kill me? And that's where Kyle has to kind of, keep on the low profile because the cops are also following him too. So they have to hide in this parking garage, and finally lays it out on her that he is a soldier from the future that was sent back in time to protect her from a certain individual. And the person who is targeting you is a Terminator, a fucking killing machine. And of course she doesn't believe it, like, you're a nut job. But, he even says, no, they don't make technology, not in the next 40 years. 1984, 2024. So Terminators are going to be made in 3 years. Oh shit. He even drops the bombshell on her of why this machine is after her. Like, why is she so goddamn important to kill? Well, she happens to learn from Kyle Reese that she's actually the mother of the leader of the Resistance. And, of course, John Connor, her unborn son. So, now it's a matter of, no, he was sent back in time to kill you before he was born. Thus, in a time paradox like that, you kill the mother before he was even conceived, he'll never exist. Then Skynet wins. So then next thing you know, after jumping through different types of cars, we do have a car chase, and it ends very badly with the Terminator getting damaged. And I do say that damaged because when we see him next time, he's in a hotel room and he is heavily fucked up. He has a blast in his arm where we see that his arm has robotic type of machinery under his skin. Now, earlier in the movie, Kyle Reese explains to her that it's a metal endoskeleton underneath skin. Now, they had 600 series Terminators, so the T600s. They had rubber skin. They were easy to spot, but these new T101s are different. They have flesh. They can sweat. They can bleed. They have bad breath. They can grow hair. They look human. And that's why they were a little bit harder to kill. This is obviously his first encounter with such a machine. Now, we go back to that hotel, and we see that the Terminator has bandaged himself up, but his eye is still kind of fucked up from the chase. So he cuts it out, and that's when we get to see the first glimpse that, yeah, he's definitely a fucking machine, because that red eye just shows. Puts on his trademark shades, gets ready to go, and finds Sarah again. Dr. Silverman is pretty much interrogating or interviewing Kyle Reese about the future. Like, what is this nonsense? Because you gotta remember, it's 1984. These guys have never heard of this future. So to them, he's a nut job. He's a complete fucking nut job. Like, yeah, he's a fucking lunatic. And then next thing you know, we get to see the scene where the Terminator shows up to the police station and delivers the 3 most famous words in cinema history.
I'm a friend of Sarah Connor. I was told that she's here. Could I see her, please?
No, can't see her. She's making a statement.
Where is she?
Look, it may take a while. You want to wait? There's a bench over there.
I'll be back.
This is then followed by the police station massacre, where the Terminator is just going around, shooting cops left, right, and center with his machine gun, his shotgun, and he mows down the whole entire police force in search of Sarah Connor. Kyle and Sarah get out of there, safely, and the Terminator is just right on their fucking tail. Like, it's relentless. It's not going to stop. Like Kyle Reese said, it can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity, remorse, or fear, and absolutely will not stop until she is dead. This thing will not stop following her until its mission is complete. They do, lay low for a bit, and then eventually at some point they get into a hotel where Kyle Reese, tells her, like, there's a reason why I came here, like, because John always talked about you. I wanted to see the legend, and he gave me a picture of you, and I've always loved you. So he's had this love for John's mother, because she's essentially like a god to her, to Kyle, right? The mother of the leader of the resistance, and he is trying to save her, and that is where they make love for the first and only time in the movie. And it's pretty much now the time paradox now, because this is how John is conceived. So now with that notion, it's like, well, now John has to send Kyle back, because if not only if he doesn't, the Terminator could potentially kill Sarah Connor, but even then, if you don't send Kyle, you can't be born. Plain and simple. Which then also leads to the Terminator finally, getting to their place. Fucking another chase comes up, and it's the finale of the movie where he's on his bike, he's shooting them. They throw fucking pipe bombs at him. Kyle gets injured in the process. Sarah takes matters into her own hands, takes down the Terminator on the bike. He's dragging along the road, gets hit by a fucking semi where he's dragging even fucking more feet. And, their truck is flipped over now. And sure enough, the Terminator gets up. And he looks even more fucked up. Now he's exposed. Like it doesn't end. It doesn't matter how much skin he has lost now. His mission is not complete. He's going to see it through the end. So he gets in the truck, goes after them, and now they're on foot with a injured Kyle, who also took a bullet at some point during the chase, and they're pretty much running. He even instructs her to run, just fucking run, while he throws a pipe bomb into the exhaust pipe of the tanker truck, and you know what that's gonna fucking do. So sure as shit, boom, the tanker explodes. And then we see the Terminator get out of the truck and fall down, just engulfed in flames. He looks dead. And, Sarah celebrates. Kyle embraces her, like, yeah, they did it. It's over. Right?
We did it, Kyle. We got it.
Nope. It ain't fucking over. And I have to say this, that scene is fucking insanely good. I mean, just the sheer thought that, like, this is how I don't understand how people forget that this was a horror movie at first. Because it's the reveal that, like, yeah, you guys just blew him up. All you did was take his skin off. Now he's full endoskeleton. He's terrifying. Imagine going to in the theaters in 1984 and seeing this on the screen. Like, oh my god, this thing is still not dead? And it's like, it's terrifying. Like, imagine, you thought you killed the Terminator. You thought you did. And it's like, okay, it's over. And just, it gets up. You see its endoskeleton. You see those red eyes looking at you. And it's pursuing you. And it's like, oh my god. Yeah, I would have shit bricks too. They break into this factory where they could try to hide from the Terminator. And of course, Kyle Reese, he even turns on all the machineries in this factory to, distract the Terminator. He can't find them so easily. And of course, it kind of works. But then, of course, as we all know, the Terminator does find them. And sure as shit, there's a battle where, for some odd reason, they made a big deal that the Terminator can climb the stairs. We know he can climb stairs. It's not that fucking hard. Anywho, Kyle Reese goes into a combat fight with him, but it doesn't fucking end well. He hits him a few times with a pipe, and all the Terminator does is just punch him twice. But he puts a pipe bomb in his little rib area, explodes. Well, now that Terminator has to be dead for fucking sure. We saw pieces flying all over the fucking place. But in that process, Sarah Connor has been injured. She got her leg impaled by one of these pieces. She goes to see Kyle, and sadly, he has died. Now, the dreams he had where he had died and all of them has now come to fruition. He sadly dies. And in the moments of her grief, the Terminator gets right back up. It is not dead yet. Now they're just crawling. Like she's crawling away. He's crawling to get to her. It's crawling to get to her. And they get into this hydraulic press. And sure as shit, she's doing anything she can to survive. So now she has this plan to get across the hydraulic press, shut the cage on it, and right in the midst of that Terminator with its hand fucking coming to get her, she just says, "You're terminated, fucker." Pushes the button, squashes that fucking Terminator until that red light, that red eye, dies out. Killing the Terminator in the process. And thus ending that chase, the horrifying nightmare that is to be. And then we see Sarah Connor somewhere in Mexico where, she's getting gas, and you see that she is talking on a recorder, and this little kid is, she takes a picture of her, and then it's the same picture, by the way, the same picture that John had given to Kyle in the future, and Kyle had, and at some point, nice little thing, he says to her, I had this picture that John gave to me, and I always looked at it sometimes and thought, what were you thinking at that moment? Just to slowly realize when it gets to that scene, she was thinking of Kyle. Yeah, some touching shit right there. The gas station attendant looks at her and says, "There's a storm coming." And she's like, "I know." And she drives off. Now, a lot of people look at that ending and they say, yeah, she's driving off to the sunset. Driving away, it's a happy ending. But no, if you really look at that scene, you see that she's driving towards the storm. This is pretty much a metaphor of her driving towards her uncertain future. Because now she knows that the future is not set. She knows that there's a nuclear war that's about to start. And she doesn't know when. She also knows that her son has to grow up to be this leader of this future. And just, her future is just not certain at this moment. But she knows shit is about to hit the fan. And she's got to do everything she can to survive. And that is the end of the Terminator. Now, like I've said, I've seen this movie dozens and dozens of times, but of course, I had to rewatch this just for the sake of this video. And yeah, it's a movie that, is of a time. And honestly, I it's still good. And it's still one of those exciting movies that, even Rotten Tomatoes gives it 100%, which is fucking out of nowhere, right? And then, of course, you know, you got great acting. You got all these great scenes. You got the many chase scenes. You got the police station massacre. You got the special effects done by the late Stan Winston, God rest his soul, and it told a great story. It's a horror movie. It's essentially a B horror movie, but God, the franchise it kicked off, my God. As for a ranking or a rating it for this movie, of course, to me, I do love this movie. It's one of my favorites, and you know, it was, you know what? It's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. It's no secret I'm a big Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, and you know, for this movie, I do have to give it a 9 out of 10. Of course, I do have some flaws with it, which was essentially, you know, some of the effects didn't really work out, you know, but what do you expect? It's the 80s, you know, they're still trying, right? But other than that, you know, like, there's another reason why I have to give it a 9 out of 10. Because, well, you know, after this movie, directed by James Cameron, where does he go from here? Well, that's a topic for another time. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. What do you guys think of this movie? Do you guys also love it just like I do? Is it, you know, kind of okay? Or if you guys haven't seen it yet and you're just intrigued or you're interested in seeing it, then, you know, let me know. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of The Terminator. If you guys like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up and also subscribe for more content. For the whole month of July, I'm going to be actually focusing on the Terminator franchise, from the first Terminator all the way to Dark Fate, and eventually I will be doing a ranking of the Terminator franchise, and, you know, maybe a few little things leading up to Arnold Schwarzenegger's birthday, which is on July 30th. I've always wanted to do the Terminator franchise, and yeah, it's just, I figured I might as well do it. I might as well just do it now. I gotta get this off my chest. Anyways, guys, that's it from me. This has been the Ginger Snaps here. My name is Steven, and I will check you guys out later.